Hello and welcome to another Canguro English live class. My name is Christian and today is Thursday, the best day of the week. So today we are going to be studying vocabulary and learning all about vocabulary and how to learn it. What does the science say about learning vocabulary? And at the end of the class, I'm going to do a vocabulary test. So I hope today that you're going to learn lots of interesting and I hope lots of new things about vocabulary, about maybe I'm going to destroy some myths, some lies that you had in your head about learning vocabulary. That is my plan for today. So I'd like to say hello to everybody from all over the world. People from Morocco, from Bermuda. Man, I'd love to live in Bermuda. It's summer there every day. People are surfing every day. Nobody has a job. They just drink pina coladas and just surf all day. What an amazing place. I'm laughing because there's lots of funny, hilarious people that say things in the chat that I will not repeat. People from Turkey, from Iraq, Nicaragua, Hungary, Buenos Aires, Sri Lanka, Helsinki in Finland, a very global audience. I'm honored to have you all here. Thank you for watching. So, listen, I don't like to talk a lot. So, I don't like to talk a lot of small talk. So let's just begin. So, let's begin with looking at some common ideas that people have about vocabulary, okay? So the first one is this: grammar is more important than vocabulary. And if you think about it, that is the way that a majority of students feel about language. That is the way that a majority of language courses are designed. It's all about grammar. If you open a workbook, most workbooks, they are based on a grammar structure. We're going to start at present simple and we're going to move to third conditional. I don't know, right? So students have this idea that grammar is number one. Grammar is the most important thing. But when you think about it, you can do a lot with very, very basic grammar, okay? I can learn the word for two, and I can learn the word for beers. And that's all I need. If I know the word two and the word beers and the word pizza, I can travel anywhere in the world with no problems, okay? Maybe I need to say the word want, right? Want, two beers, want pizza. That's it. What? But that's an exaggeration, but really they're equally important. Vocabulary is not something that you can ignore. Okay, so next thing is this: you shouldn't translate, right? And this is something which is repeated by workbooks and repeated by teachers, especially now in this era, this era of the trend towards communication. Everything's about communication. You should never translate, right? Do not translate in your head. Think in English. How many videos, how many teachers have you seen that tell you to think in English or don't translate in your head? The truth is, right, the science tells us this. Okay, this is an abstract from a paper, 2014. Look at the highlighted text here. Look what it says. Okay, here. The quantitative data consisting of reading comprehension tests, so they tested people's reading, and translation surveys, and the qualitative data of interviews and think aloud protocols, right? They have two prominent findings. First one, mental translation appears to have positive and significant associations with reading comprehension across two languages. Significant and positive associations. And this is just one example, okay? The science is very clear that translation, mental translation, number one, is unavoidable, right? It's unavoidable. Two, it's necessary. And number three, it's actually a good thing, okay? Because of the way that our brains work. Because our brains are a networking device, right? Our brains are all about connections. I mean, every time you hear someone making a metaphor about the brain, every time you hear someone talking about the brain, they're always talking about connections in the brain, right? But when you tell students, don't translate, think in English, you're actually telling them to not make connections, right? It's crazy. That's not how the brain works. If you learn something only in English and you don't connect it to anything else, if you don't connect it to your culture, you don't connect it to your native language, if you don't make connections, that's a bad thing, not a good thing, right? And this is evidence that it's true. And let me give you another example. Okay, so this is a very famous example from the world of, well, psychology and linguistic philosophy. Okay, so there was a guy called Quine, and he had lots of interesting ideas about language. Okay, and he had a thought experiment. Okay, a thought experiment. So imagine that you are walking through the forest. You're walking through the forest with some people who speak another language. Okay? Now, you don't know this language, but you want to learn this language. So you're immersing yourself in the culture. Okay? And suddenly a rabbit appears in front of you, running. Okay? So suddenly a rabbit appears in the forest running, and the person you're with, and you're trying to learn this language, they point at the rabbit, and they say, Gavagai! Gavagai! Now, what does Gavagai mean? It could mean rabbit, right? I mean, you point at something, it means rabbit. But it could also mean fast, white, food, hunting, 4 legs, running, or it could even mean, oh my God, what a surprise, what a shock, okay? And so, if I don't have context, if I don't have an explanation, then Gavagai could mean lots of different things, right? Could mean lots of different things. So I need to make a connection. I need to make a connection between Gavagai and the word in my native language. This is very important. It's a very important thing. So when somebody tells you, don't translate, you think of the rabbit, okay? And you think how wrong it is for somebody to tell you not to make a connection, okay? And another part of this is teachers and methods and systems that tell people, don't use a bilingual dictionary. Only use a monolingual dictionary, right? This is, again, this is just something that people say. They say, oh, I've got an idea for a system. I've got an idea for a method. We're only going to use a monolingual dictionary. And in that way, all of my students will think in English. They'll think in English. But again, it's not true. So let's look at some science. So look at this. This was not just a study. This was from an entire book that was written about monolingual versus bilingual dictionaries. Look at the conclusion, okay? More interestingly, the monolingual version too, which offered just the English definition by way of meaning, so that's like most monolingual dictionaries, you open it and you have the definition, right? Was consistently the least effective of all. For words in isolation, in sentence length context, and in text context alike. The least effective. The science tells us that monolingual dictionaries are bad, the least effective. But why? Again, it's about making connections. That's one reason we want to make connections between new concept, existing concept, labels, right? But another reason that monolingual dictionaries are not good is because they don't generally give the kind of examples that we need, okay? So if I look up a word in a printed monolingual dictionary, then I don't see the word in context. I don't see the way to use the word. So look at this example, okay? This is from a English-Polish dictionary. And so you can see that, oh my God, I don't know how to pronounce this. Okazja. Sposobność. Sposobność. Right, so I can see that it means opportunity, chance, occasion. Okay, so this is one type of opportunity or chance. Then we have a different usage here, right? And then a different usage. And look, I have all the examples, you see? And I have the context. I see the preposition that I get to use with it. I see, the constructions. All of this information, all of that information is super important. Bilingual dictionaries are designed to help students who are learning another language. Why would you not use it? Right? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about my Polish pronunciation. Okay, so let's continue. What's our next amazing thing? Right. You should learn similar words together. And again, this is something that you'll find in a lot of classrooms. It's something you'll find in a lot of printed material. You'll find words that are grouped by meaning, right? So parts of the body, head, arm, feet, legs. Let's learn them all together. Let's learn all the different emotion words about happiness together. Happy, ecstatic, over the moon. I can't think of any more. Happy, joyous. Anyway, right? But actually, this is not good, right? Learning synonyms, learning words that have similar meanings together is not good. Some more research, okay? Again, look at the highlighted text. the effect of learning them together is so strong that it can make learning 50 to 100% more difficult. Being 100% more difficult means that it would take twice as many repetitions to learn these words compared to learning unrelated words. So what I'm telling you is that if you're learning words that are similar together, you're actually making your vocabulary learning slower. Okay, so how should we do it? Well, here's an example. Okay, so these here are some, basically they're unrelated sets or unassociated sets. Okay, so they're just random words. Oh look, acid, potato, roof, right? Or this one, fork, improve, brave. Okay, these are completely unrelated. This is not a good way to learn vocabulary. Okay, here, this is how most, how a lot of workbooks teach vocabulary, right? Dish, bowl, plate, all kitchen things, or shirt, jacket, sweater, all clothing items, right? This is better than this, but it's not as good as this, the thematic cluster. You want to learn words as if they were related by theme, like they were all related together in one story. Okay? So for example, beach and sunny and swim. All of those words, they go together. We're at the beach, it's a sunny day, I'm going for a swim, but they're not synonyms. Or this one, a library is where you have to whisper. You have to be very quiet. It reminds me of that joke. And I'm sorry if there are any blonde women watching this, but I have to tell you this blonde joke. Okay, so a blonde, she goes into the library and she says, excuse me, can I please have one Big Mac and a large French fries and a Coca-Cola? And the librarian says, this is a library? And the blonde says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can I please have one Big Mac? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm sorry. My wife is always saying to me, Christian, stop laughing at your own jokes, okay? You look like an idiot. So anyway. Okay. Next point. You will get all of the vocabulary you need in class. Okay, so I'm talking about vocabulary that you get when if you're paying like to talk to a teacher, or vocabulary that maybe you get if you have a book, even if you're preparing for an exam like IELTS, or whatever you're doing, you think that you get all the vocabulary you need from class, but you don't. Okay, and this is related to something that I talked about in my previous video. Okay, my previous video about learning everyday English. Okay, how do you learn English? How do you learn everyday English? By using English every day, right? And that means in different contexts. So that means reading, conversation, listening, and different types of listening, different media, right? So I'm going to show you some very, very interesting things about vocabulary, okay? And we are nearly going to start our vocabulary test. And you'll need a pencil and a paper for that. But first, I want to tell you some interesting things about vocabulary, okay? So a lot of the information I'm showing you today is based on the research of Paul Nation. Now, I did an interview with Paul Nation recently. You should check out that YouTube video. Amazing video. He's an amazing guy. And also Stuart Webb, a colleague of his, okay? So have a look at this. So you'll see here, and this is really interesting, depending on the type of thing you want to read, okay, depending on if you want to read novels or read newspapers or watch children's movies or use spoken English, then you actually need different quantities of vocabulary. And maybe you'll notice something really, really fascinating, okay, is that spoken English actually has the least amount of vocabulary, right? The least amount of vocabulary. Why is that? Think about it, right? Because maybe you have an idea that to speak English, you need, I need so many words, right? No, because when we're speaking, we tend to use the high frequency vocabulary, right? Like maybe if I'm writing an article in a newspaper and somebody is angry, maybe I'll say they were conflicted, or they were perturbed, right? Maybe I'm looking, if I'm typing a newspaper article, I want some high level vocabulary. But when I'm speaking, I'm not going to use this fancy vocabulary, okay? I'm going to use high frequency vocabulary. So the great news for you is that you're ready to start speaking, okay? In fact, what you're not ready is to read newspapers. Doesn't matter. Nobody reads newspapers anyway, right? But this is interesting, and you'll see, of course, that you need the most proper nouns for newspapers, because newspapers are very factual. They talk about a lot of people and places. So, but anyway, so 7,000 word families. Okay, Paul Nation's research, and this next one too, and this is also very important. The way that you study vocabulary will be different depending on the size of your vocabulary, okay? So when you are beginning, okay, when you only know 1,000 words or 2,000 words, okay, when you're looking at those high frequency words, you need to focus more on material that you understand, graded readers, material at your level that is designed for learners of English. So that's the first thing, you want to read graded readers. And also, you're going to deliberately study more, right? So that means, sitting down with a word list and maybe a flashcard program and actually, memorizing words, because you need that solid foundation, okay? Then after that, when you know those 2,000 words, then you can start to change the way that you are learning. So look, mid-frequency readers, so next level of books, but still deliberate learning. And then finally, the final level, when you know 10,000 words, that's when you can start to read whatever you want, okay? And that's when you can start to read specialist vocabulary for your work or for your hobbies or interests, okay? But just one thing I want you to remember, okay, is that deliberate learning, okay, and this reading is still only one part of your vocabulary learning. Okay, so what I mean is, I'm telling you to, yes, you need to spend time memorizing vocabulary, but not all of your time. Only about 25% of your time. Okay? Okay, so that answers the question about memorizing word lists is a waste of time. And this is the second part, right, of what I want to say before we begin the vocabulary test, okay, is that most of the language that we have in our heads is not individual words, okay? Our brain is full of prefabricated constructions, okay? So this is the definition of a prefab construction. A prefab is a combination of at least two words favored by native speakers in preference to an alternative combination which could have been equivalent had there been no conventionalization. Okay, this is a fancy way of saying that native speakers or anybody with a high level of English has a preference for combinations. In my interview that I published on Tuesday with Peter Sokolowski from Merriam-Webster Dictionary, he talks about this, right? You know, I can ask you, right? I can say, hey, how are you doing? How are you going? What's up? Are you having a good day? And then I can, you know, do some more strange ones, right? Like, good day to you, sir. You know, so, but some of these prefabricated constructions, these fixed things that we use every day, they're more frequent than others. This is the key, right? The secret to kind of what people say natural English, you know, native speaker English, means that you're copying the patterns and the preferences of native speakers. And you can see, look at this. About 50% of spoken and written language, about 50% are these combinations of words. Okay? So learning words in isolation is not enough. You have to be using the words in context. You have to be putting them in sentences, reading them in sentences, listening to them in sentences. Okay? Language is not maths. Okay, and I think that, yes, now we are ready to begin our vocabulary test. And so today I'm going to be testing 5 levels. Okay, I'm going to be testing the 1,000 word level to the 5,000 word level. Okay, so if you have a perfect score or a nearly perfect score in all of these levels, then you really have no excuse, okay, to not be having conversations, to be using your English. You have no reason to be afraid, okay? And one very important thing, because of time limits, okay, because vocabulary testing takes a long time, this is a simplified version of the test, okay? So it will not be as accurate as, let's say, the 2-hour version, okay? And of course, it will not be as accurate as real life experience. I mean, this is a strange experience for me, okay? Because in reality, I think that vocabulary testing is not really very useful. Not that it's not useful, but I think that you know your level from actually trying to do things, right? from trying to read a book that's too hard, or from trying to talk about things that you can't, you don't have the grammar structures, you don't have the vocabulary. So vocabulary testing has its place, but I don't think it's as useful as being out there in the real world and finding your limits and failing and making mistakes and looking like an idiot. In reality, it's much better, okay? Okay, here we go. So 1,000-word level. The test is very simple. This is question number 1, okay? So here you can see we have three definitions, okay? And there are 6 possible words, okay? So you have to write down, this is why you need your paper, you have to write down the 3 words, okay? So for example, how big or small something is, which word represents that definition? Place that buses and trains go to, which word represents that definition? And a young man, which one represents that definition? So just write down the answers, okay, write down the answers, and then at the end, we'll look at your score, okay? So this is question number 1. Please write down your answers. I'm going to give you 20 seconds to do it. And guys, if you want to cheat, you can look in the comments section because people are typing the answers in the comments. But if you cheat, remember that you're only cheating yourself. It's best to just, put on your blinkers and just concentrate. Okay, next one. Question number 2. Information sent to people, men and women, and place for working. Ear, gold, lake, letter, office, and people. And just one final thing. It is obligatory for you to write an answer. You cannot put nothing, okay? You have to guess. Because maybe there's some, subconscious knowledge buried deep in here. Okay, so just take a guess if you don't know. Okay, question number 3. Funny story. A man or a boy. Something worn on your head. Fellow, hat, ice, joke, light, and system. Okay, next question. Latest information. Place with many trees. Something that is not right. Date, forest, mistake, news, record, and shop. Okay. Which one did we do? Yes. Okay. Next question. Person who lives nearby. things that are thrown away, a type of clothing. Bar, conversation, neighbor, rain, rubbish, and shirt. Okay, and this one, hold and move something toward yourself, to keep happening, to use together with others. Continue, cook, phone, pull, sail, and share. And okay, so that is the six questions for the 1,000 word level. Okay, now the first 1,000 words in English. So this level of vocabulary makes up about 85% of the useful things that we do every day. So like 85% of conversation, 85% of films, 85% of general reading. So if you have all of these words correct, then wow, okay, you're doing really well. So the correct answers would be size, station, and boy. A letter, a people, and office. Joke, fellow, and hat. News, forest, and mistake. And neighbor, rubbish, shirt. And finally, pull, keep happening, continue. So pull, continue, and share. So the research shows that if you have 80% correct or above, you're ready to move to the next level. You know that level. So there was through 18. So you need to 18. What's 80% of 18? Any mathematicians here? Let's have a look. 80% of 18. So you need to get 14 correct, 14 or more correct from that word list. So if you have 14 correct, you're ready to move to the next level. So here we go, 100% correct. Sergio wants to know, where are the swear words? That's level 99, my friend. 100%. I only missed one. Okay, so let's move on to the 2,000 word level. Okay, here we go. A choice, a job, and a test. Capital, career, committee, exam, fence, and option. Ooh, feeling the tension. Okay, next one. Food made with lots of water. A person who watches for danger. and a place where many books are kept. A guard, a lesson, a library, a license, a monkey, and soup. I see that there is no doubt in the comments section about which ones are correct. No hesitation, no doubt. Ooh, okay. Next one. A hat worn by a king or a queen. A job and things that stop a car. No, thing that stops a car. Break, crown, hero, language, mission, tail. No doubt. The comments section is on fire. Okay, next. A person who steals, a place that gives protection, and a place with little rain. Affair, carrot, damage, desert, shelter, thief. Wow. Again, a lot of very confident answers in the comments section. Not a lot of disagreement. Interesting. Okay, and I think this is the final one. So, bad weather, earth, things that you often enjoy doing. Advice, hobby, industry, soil, stake, and storm. Maybe a little bit more difficult? Maybe? Again, the comments section is just very confident about this one. Oh no, there is one more. I apologize. There's one more. Okay, here we go. Believe something is true. Break open and make something work. Burst, cheat, direct, operate, presume, and wander. Not wander, wander. Just copy and paste. Yeah, I think this is probably the level where I expect, some mistakes, and then more mistakes as we continue. Okay, and so I do believe that is yes. Okay, so let's have a look at the correct answers. So here we go. Are you ready? Choice, let me read the correct answer. So option, career, and exam. Soup, guard, library. Crown, mission, break. Thief, shelter, desert. Storm, soil, and hobby. Presume, burst, and operate. Ooh, that final one, I have to say, I think that was quite difficult. To presume is to believe that something is true. To break open is to burst. And make something work is to operate. Like you can operate a camera or operate a telephone. So I'm curious about how many you got correct. I'm wondering. So Alex Loginovsky. Not Alex. Alexei. I have to say it with like a Russian accent. Alexei Loginovsky. Was that good or was that perfect or what? Come on, that was perfect. 100%, 2 errors, 100%, 3 missed. I have to say, I am very impressed with the amount of people getting 100% correct. Amazing job. Yeah, true. Obviously, if you speak a major European language, if you speak French or Spanish or Italian or Portuguese, then you have a big advantage, right? Because there's lots of, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Similar words. I can't remember the technical term. Okay. Cognates. That's what they're called. They're called cognates. Okay, 3,000 words. Are you ready? We're getting difficult now. Here we go. Ability or skill. Clue. Person that you work with. Colleague, fate, fee, hint, status, and talent. Ooh. Definitely getting more difficult. Yeah, it's an interesting observation from Jern Darare that that person, he or she, I don't know, they don't have a problem with vocabulary, they have a problem with spelling. And yes, English spelling is an absolute nightmare. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. Next one. A place where you can see a doctor. Top. What you usually do each day. Circuit, clinic, format, origin, peak, routine. Okay. For the person that, if there's anybody who gets 100% correct for all of these, then I will show you what I am wearing on my feet. Even though it's the most embarrassing thing in the world, I will show you my footwear if somebody gets it all correct. Now remember, I'm quarantined, okay? I'm not allowed to leave the house, so number 1 priority, comfort. Number 2 priority, style. Okay. Next question. The back of your foot, a person in charge of a school, and punishment. Agency, heel, pavement, penalty, principle, youth. I'm starting to see the comments section. I'm starting to see some disagreement, which is interesting already at level 3. There's words here that, yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. What's super interesting is how how frequent, it's such a stupid thing to say, but it's interesting how frequent the frequent words are. Like, everybody knows the frequent words. Really, really interesting. Okay. Next question. Goal, picture, and a place where criminals are kept. Element, jail, joint, objective, portrait, variety. Okay, next question. Loss, a person you oppose, a small child. Defeat, infant, nuclear, outrage, prospect, and rival. Well, about some of these, there is zero disagreement. Everybody is quite sure that they know which is correct. Okay. Feel bad about doing something. Give all your time and attention. Happen at the same time. Coincide, derive, devote, permit, publish, and regret. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is that the final one? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's go back and have a look. Are you ready to check your answers? I'll just read the correct answers. So it would be talent, hint, and colleague. Clinic, peak, and routine. Heal, principle, penalty. Objective, portrait, jail. Defeat, rival, infant. Regret, devote, and coincide. So, I'm curious how many of you got all those correct. I think some of those were definitely more difficult. I think not only the definitions were more difficult, and we had some more advanced vocabulary. So, Alexei, and 100% again, my man. Surendra, Monkey Shines, 100% Irachak, Alexei, Ivana, Francesco, Acro, 94%, 90%, Lusa Franco, 100%, still. Somehow, Lionel Ibarra got 101%. He's a statistical anomaly. He's an outlier. He's a genius. Wow. Amazing. So, listen, there is something I want to say, okay? So, if you got 100%, if you got more than 80% at 3,000 word level, you are ready. You know, there's not going to be a moment when you say, okay, today I have sufficient vocabulary to start speaking. Today is the day when I'm fluent. It doesn't work like that. That day will never come. Today's the day. You know enough. You're ready. Okay, let's do this. 4,000 words. Ooh. Group of birds. High body temperature. And a sale where people place bids. Auction, bullet, fever, flock, outlet, and skull. Okay. Maria del Huerto, she didn't know synonyms of 3 of the 4 words. Interesting. Sergio was born ready. Actually, based on his avatar, he was born in the darkness. He is the darkness. Ooh. Well. The comments section feels pretty confident. Again. Okay. Next, a place where old books are kept. A powder left after something burns, and a science subject. Archive, ash, mat, moisture, physics, and tile. Hello, Sword of Truth. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of a vocabulary test, and it's probably too late to participate. I recommend that you stop watching this video and you can watch it, watch the replay when it's finished. That would be the best thing. Okay. Okay. Again, God, so much confidence. Okay, here we go. A book with information given for each word. The first person to do something, and a paper that people sign. Pioneer, dictionary, immigration, petition, romance, thigh. I know that you're trying to think of vocabulary right now, but I have a confession to make. I've been listening to Christmas music since the 28th of November. I just love Christmas. Come on. I think when you have children, Christmas is amazing. You know, otherwise, no. Okay, next question. Lack. Place for buying and drinking coffee, and time limit. Acid, cafe, deadline, deficiency, texture, thesis. So Camilla Matos says, I'm surprised, right? I'm surprised about me. You know, I'm surprised at myself. People frequently underestimate their own abilities. You know, I live in Spain. I work in Spain. I can't tell you how many students, how many Spanish people say, "Ah, qué vergüenza." Here in Spain, we don't speak English. We have the worst level of English in all of Europe. You know, qué vergüenza. But you know, the truth is that they tell me this in English, and confidence is a big part. You know, confidence is a big part. Hello, everyone. I'm back. There was an internet problem. This is one of the wonderful things about living in the country. Just fabulous. So I do apologize for dropping out there. Let me see if I can get this window back, because I don't know how to restore chat. Okay, let's see if I can. Chat disconnected. I think that I'm back, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. Well, that was a bit frustrating. I do apologize. So basically, I live in the middle of the country, like just cows and pigs, right, everywhere. And so the only internet connection that I have is 4G, and I don't know why, but sometimes I get just disconnected for no reason. Fabulous. Okay, so the question is, where were we? That's the question, because I don't know exactly when I disappeared. So if you could, if somebody could tell me when exactly I disappeared, I'd appreciate that. Was it this question? Or was it the previous question? Or before this? When did I lose you? The last one was question 4. Deficiency cafe deadline. Okay, so this is where I lost you. Let's try and get back some of this magic, some of this word test magic. This is where I lost you. Let's go again. Next question. Cover for your head, a small house, and a type of metal. Avenue, brass, departure, hood, hut, and premier. Yeah, some of this vocabulary is a little bit difficult. I'm not going to lie. Wow, but again, still a lot of people feeling super confident. Very, 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 very good. Okay, next one. Cook over fire, enter by force, and make pure. Appall, invade, mutter, refine, roast, and unveil. Lewis Murray, I don't know. I think that you're here because of my dynamic personality and my magnetic charm. And I think, yes, so that is the end of the 4th level. And we're nearly about to move on to the final level. So let's have a look. A group of well, I'll just say the correct ones. So, flock, fever, and auction. Archive, ash, physics. Dictionary, pioneer, petition. Deficiency, cafe, deadline. Hood, hut, brass. Roast, invade, refine. So now I'm super curious to see how many of you got those correct, because I know that there's a lot of difficult ones in there. June Hour, 100%. Mary M says yes. Francisca Braithwaite, 100. Stanislav, 100. Marina Quine, 100. Alexei, 18 out of 18. Judge Plenit. I'm sorry, I can't. Judge Plenishik. One mistake. It's very good. Carolina Muls, Gennady Timoshenko. Andrea Oceladore. 5 mistakes. But still, a lot of people still getting 100%. This means that I may have to show you what I'm wearing on my feet. Oh my God. Okay, now for the final level, the 5,000 word level. And we can do vocabulary class part 2, and we can continue up to 10,000 words if necessary. Okay, let's go. Illness spread very quickly that affects many people. Many bubbles, young cow. Oops. Let me just turn off my phone. Okay. Next one. Containing no meat, a hard white substance, and a tool for styling hair. Comb, ivory, pants, rainbow, vegetarian, and zip. Yes, the first. Yes, Carolina. The first one was a gift, an absolute gift. Still, I'm seeing a lot of confidence in the comments. I'm seeing a lot of confidence. Okay, next one. Comparison between two things. A person kept somewhere unwillingly, and what is left? Analogy, captive, remainder, renovation, ribbon, and vest. Definitely feeling more difficult. I can feel it in my bones, in my word bones. Okay, next one. A container for money, a person who cuts and sells meat, and a place for boats to dock. Butcher, chalk, grape, ornament, pier, wallet. And yes, there's one more. Okay. The beginning of night, center, and a person who watches. Ammunition, crab, dusk, nucleus, revenge, and spectator. Interesting. Very interesting. Is there one more? I'm not sure. Yes, there is. End. Keep apart. Slowly make smaller. Abolish, apprehend, chuckle, erode, replicate, and segregate. Yes, there's definitely more difficult words in the 5,000 category. Definitely. Okay. Definitely seeing a lot more disagreement here on this one. Okay, so now remember, more than 80% correct is mastery. So let's have a look at the first one. So, epidemic, foam, and calf. A calf is a baby cow. And also a calf is the muscle on the back of your leg. So vegetarian, ivory, and comb. The B is silent. It's not comb, it's comb. Analogy, captive, remainder. The first three. Analogy, captive, remainder. Wallet, butcher, and peer. Dusk, nucleus, spectator. And finally, abolish, segregate, and erode. Erosion is what happens on the coast when when there's lots of wind. So that was, I think, already much more difficult, the 5,000 word level. So did anyone get 100%? I'm curious. Did anybody get 100? Oh, Carolina Mools, Ivana, amazing. Marina Quine, 100%. Ans Schick, 97%. Regular Zawatsky, 100%. Alex is quite a few people. Alexa again with 100%. 100% amazing. Amazing. So I think that we need to move. We need to move up to 10,000 words in the next live class. So 2 things before I go. 2 things. Number 1. If you look down in the description box, okay, so when this is finished, go look in the description box. I've put a link where you can download word lists for each level. So you can download a 1,000 word list and a 2,000 word list. The link, they're completely free. They are made by the amazing Paul Nation, based on the science. He spent literally years making these lists. Go and download them, okay? That's my gift. Not my gift. That's Paul Nation's gift to you. What a legend. And the second thing is my footwear. Okay, so remember, it's a pandemic. I am confined, like everyone in Galicia. I'm confined to my house. Number 1 priority is comfort. Number 2 priority is style. It's winter, it's very cold, and so I am wearing the socks and sandals. Socks and sandals. Look at that. Oh my God. What? Yeah. I understand why the Germans do it. I think the Germans are famous for this combination. It's a great combination. It makes sense. Oh my God. This is the wonderful thing about working from home. Okay. Antonio de Lima. Yes. I live in Galicia. E sì, eu falo galego. Por suposto. No, I speak a little bit of Galician. I don't speak Galician very well. I speak Galician like an Australian. Guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope that you learnt a lot about the truth about learning vocabulary. I hope you feel confident about going out there and using your English to do things, because that's what I want for you. And so now I'm going to say goodbye. with lots of love. I'm Christian. This is Canguro English, and I'll see you in class. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Lots of love to you all. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.